Hello again, it's video newsletter time, and we're going to be bringing it to you from Qualtronics. We're on the air every Tuesday at the same time, same satellite, and the same time, 2 o'clock Eastern. The show today, another good one, features a visit with President of Qualtronics, John Call. We're going to be reviewing the CES show, touring of our still under construction studios here, but next week we hope we'll be out from under and have a completed studio. And finally, some very interesting interviews with industry leaders such as Hans Jenner and Bob Taggart and others from the CES show itself. But now, on with the show.
Welcome to the world of satellite TV opportunities, the magazine that brings you inside information on successful marketing and sales techniques, details the latest in new technology, and lets you see how other dealers increase their sales and profits.
Satellite TV Opportunities magazine is the marketing techniques magazine for satellite TV dealers. Our single purpose is to help dealers increase their sales and their profits through improved marketing techniques.
Satellite TV Opportunities offers insight into the latest trends in marketing, profiles thriving businesses, and surveys what TVRO buyers are really after. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-922-2812. For $25, you get a full year's subscription to Satellite TV Opportunities, a magazine full of new ideas that will help your business thrive. 1-800-922-2812. Call today. MasterCard and Visa accepted.
Now Larry Wyman interviews Bob Taggart.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our show. With me this afternoon in Las Vegas, Nevada, is Bob Taggart with the Chaparral Communication Company. Bob, it's real nice that you would visit with us here.
My pleasure.
We're at the 1985 Winter CES show, and how's the show going for you, Bob?
It's been a very good show. This is actually the first time we've exhibited at a CES show. We've attended all of the ones over the past few years, but this one has worked out very well. We're having a lot of traffic here, a lot more interest in satellite than we've seen in past years.
There's certainly a lot of people here. This is Sunday, and we've got 80,000 square feet, and it seems to be all rented out, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Thousands of people this afternoon, and we're excited at KTI here with our staff, and we're looking forward to many more years. Of course, this is our 5th year here, Bob.
Is that right?
Yes, and we're kind of celebrating our birthday here this particular show. Tell us a little bit about your product. We want our viewers here at the show this afternoon to know and understand a little bit more about Chaparral. We're proud of our association with you and with your product, but we want all of the viewers to know a little bit more about Chaparral.
Well, Chaparral is a company that started by myself and Taylor Howard about 5 years ago, and was a part-time business, as many were in the early days of TVRO, making small antenna feeds, and really surprised that it ever amounted to anything. We started out very small and sort of bootstrapped the company, and now we're certainly one of the largest suppliers in the industry of TVRO products.
It's an excellent product.
Some of our new products that are coming out, which are more consumer friendly and make the overall TVRO system more friendly to the consumer, easier to use and easier to install, we have a new polar amp product which integrates the feed and the LNA into one package. This is a whole family of future feed products that really will set the trends for years to come. And we're just continually trying to innovate and bring out new products and better meet the needs of the marketplace.
Yes.
There's a lot more consumer awareness, a lot more retailer awareness. Major chains and distribution patterns are going to be increased and broadened this coming year.
We anticipate an excellent 1985. The interest here at the show, I certainly concur with you, Bob. There's a lot of excitement. We think that the buying public is stopping by our booths and we would recommend your product to them. Like I said before, we're extremely pleased with our association with you, Bob.
It's been very good for us. We really enjoy the fine people.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. It was nice that you take a few minutes to visit with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We're here at the Las Vegas, Nevada 1985 Winter CES show, and with me this afternoon is Dean Robinson of the United Service Contract Specialist. And I'm going to let Dean explain a little bit about his company, if you will. We're anxious that our viewers and dealers across the country get to know you, Dean, get to know something of your company. We're real pleased to have you here.
Thank you, Larry. My name's Dean Robinson. I'm with United Service Contract Specialist. And what we are is a service contract company. What we do is we go through the dealers and provide a 5-year extended service contract on satellite antennas, televisions, and appliances. Basically, what the contract covers is a 5-year period, 45 days after the date of sale, that pays for service calls, labor, parts, and mileage. When the dealer sells a contract, that is when he sends us money. Nothing from the dealer before. We provide all the sales material, everything that the dealer will need.
Well, Dean, what you're saying is this is a service from the dealer to the end user.
Right.
When he sells a system to his customer, what you're doing is providing a service then to the industry and to the end user.
Correct.
To protect him?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
And does it cost the dealer anything to do business with you?
It costs the dealer nothing before he actually sells one of our contracts. At that time, he would send in the amount of the premium along with an application form, and then we would in turn send that customer his actual service contract. When the time for service arrives, then the retail customer is requested to call us on our 800 number, and we would in turn call that dealer that sold the contract and ask him if he would like to do the service. If he would, then we issue that dealer a authorization number, and the dealer goes out, takes care of the problem, and mails us the bill with the authorization number on top of his own billing. So there's no extra paperwork involved.
I see. Well, how are you finding the show here in Las Vegas, Dean?
Terrific.
Isn't this something?
It really is. Wall-to-wall people.
Wall-to-wall people is right. There are, this is the Sunday crowd that we're having here at the Winter Show right now. And there's 80,000 square feet of rented space here for this particular show. And it's kind of exciting. And we at KTI are excited with you. We think it's a good winter show here. And we're glad that you stopped by our booth, Dean, and it was nice meeting you, and we're looking forward to doing business with you.
Thank you.
We hope that the listeners and our viewers this afternoon, if they have any questions, they might feel free to contact Dean Robinson, United Service Contract Specialist at South Hutchinson, Kansas. And Dean, it was nice meeting you at the show here, and we're looking forward to doing business with you.
Thank you, Larry. I might mention also that we do have an 800 number.
Why don't you tell the folks what it is?
It's 800-423-0900.
Okay, thank you very much.
Are you confused about satellite programming guides? Are you tired of monthly inaccurate guides that are big and bulky and about as much fun to use as a city phone book? How about tabloids with hard-to-read print, incomplete movie listings that are about as easy to use as a road map? Or newspaper guides with confusing grids that fall apart in your hands? There is an alternative. Onset, the easy-to-read, easy-to-use weekly programming guide with more movies and sports. Best of all, Onset is only $39. That's right, 52 issues for only $39. But don't take our word for it. We'll send you a free copy of Onset, and you can judge for yourself. And if you're a dealer, ask about our dealer program. Make your customers happy and make money. Call Onset now. Toll-free 1-800-438-2020 or write Onset, Box 2347, Shelby, North Carolina, 28150. Onset, you've seen the rest, now try the best.
Hello, I'm Glenn Messerschmidt, and this is Peter Cole here on my left. We're from Houston Tracker Systems, and right now we're at the Winter Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. We'd like to take a moment of your time to introduce you to the latest products from Houston Tracker. Peter?
This is the Houston Tracker Systems Super Plus, Tracker Force Super Plus. This unit is UHF remote controlled, which means that I can use it in any room of my house. It will interface with a pot or detent tune type receiver to give complete system control from the remote of the Tracker Force Super Plus. When I press the odd button of the remote, the unit steps through odd channels. When I press the even button of the remote, the unit steps through even channels. If I want to randomly access a channel, I simply enter 8 and the channel that I want to receive. If any fine-tuning is needed, I can do so by pressing the receiver tuning up and down buttons. If I put this unit in parental lockout, which operates similar to the Tracker 4 Plus, then it will hold it on that specific channel that I'm receiving.
This is the latest addition to the Houston Tracker line. It is a manual microprocessor-controlled antenna positioner with a digital readout. It's an extremely simple system to operate. It has your on-off control and your down and up dish position. Also, you can get it with UHF wireless remote control.
Hi, I'm Bob Partain from Houston Tracker Systems. We're here at the Winter CES show demonstrating our new equipment. Today we're showing the Tracker 3 and Tracker 3 Plus. The Tracker 3 is a fully programmable microprocessor controlled dish positioner. It can program up to 70 different satellites and do so very accurately. It also comes as a 3 Plus with the UHF wireless remote control. The 3 or the 3 Plus are the perfect end unit for your system to give you accurate dish positioning.
Hi, I'm Mr. Boo. This is the new Houston Tracker 3 Plus. I want you to buy it now.
Space-age technology has now made its movement in the form of the Tracker 3 Plus from Houston Tracker, the ultimate.
I'd like to have you folks meet once again Jim Pletzer, sales representative here at Qualtronics. Jim, I wanted you to sit in here in our, incidentally, the noise you hear in the background is the pounding that's going on, the construction underway in our studios. We promise you that next week we will have some segments that are clear of that type of noise. The backdrop is not in place yet behind us. The walls are just painted, the undercoat. But Pletz, I want to ask you basically your personal experience with the terrific response that the industry has felt in the Trans 10 since it's been on the market, so to speak, for what, 4 or 6 weeks now?
Yeah.
And you've had some good experience.
Yeah, I have. I first-hand experience of one of the first times where I've actually gone out and put the antenna together myself. I'm a sales representative. I'm not a technician. But I got to go out and do this myself on several stops and had a good time doing it too.
Mm-hmm.
Been doing some traveling lately, and I really like this new antenna. I'm really excited about it. I know we're gonna sell 1 million of them, and with the production that we're stepping up into, it's going one step at a time, and it's really starting to shape up here with the purchase of 4 buildings and some acreage of land. This is just going to help us in our manufacturing, and like I say, it's all one step at a time, but it is coming around here. So I know it's just right around the corner.
Right. How about the actual first-hand experience that you've had talking to the distributors?
Well, it looks real good. I've had, you know, like you say, the first-hand experience is that I've been out there myself. I've seen the pictures that the antenna will get, and it has an excellent picture. It's a little bit flatter than a lot of the mesh antennas, and it's a .375 antenna, so I figure we're going to have a little better gain than a lot of the mesh antennas on the market, and it has a beautiful picture, and we have them anywhere from Washington State to California to Maine to Florida, and it's just getting a beautiful picture. On a 10-foot antenna, that sure is a compliment.
And the fact that it's UPS shippable is a big plus.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's the first. Well, it's the first time that Caltronics has ever had a UPS shippable antenna, and just that fact alone, just kind of gets me excited, because we've always had the headaches of the stainless steel with the one piece and the shipping and the trucking and setting up the truck runs and all of this. But I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this. And by the way, it is going to be a distributor-sold antenna only. Now, what this means is that Caltronics will be selling it here in Wisconsin, but other than that, it will be sold by distributors only. So if we get these calls, we'll ask them where they've seen the literature, if they did receive it, or if they just seen it in a magazine, and we'll either refer them to their closest distributor, or we'll tell them to deal with the distributor who sent the literature to them, because they are the people online. Now, we're going to try and do something a little bit different, which is, I don't know if it's going to work completely, but we're sure hoping it is. We're gonna try and hold the price down on this, and we have a manufacturer's suggested price, and we're suggesting very strongly that all our distributors stick to this price. And I think in the long run, this is definitely going to help everyone. And we're all in this business for one reason, and we know why that is. And so it looks like it's working pretty good so far.
Well, Jim, this is a product that seems to be right up your line in the sense that you are a very enthused individual. You're a highly motivated person, and I think that's good. You're young and got the juice of life right in him.
Well, that's the way I've always been. We'll try and keep it going. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
You bet.
Hi, I'm Jim Sund. Channel Guide gets with the program.
Hi, I'm Leslie Howard. Hi, I'm Mary Covens. Hi, I'm Dina Newberg. Hello, I'm Pat Hennig. Hello, my name's Catherine Edgar.
And this is Lloyd Covens with some of the Channel Guide crew here at the 1984 SAT Expo. Channel Guide gets with the program every week, 52 times a year. And our new publication, Galaxy One, gives you the best from the new used communication satellite, our easy-to-read grid format, and our monthly updated logs, and interesting ads and information. So for your free sample to Channel Guide or Galaxy One, call now. Operators are standing by. 1-800-654-3006. That's Channel Guide, a free sample copy by calling 1-800-654-3006.
Well, John, it's been all of 4 to 6 weeks since we talked to you. Our first order of business now is going to be a discussion of the studios, and I think that we're going to be not completely but partially interrupted here periodically with the pounding and the saws, but it's all good sounds.
Sure is. We've been looking forward to this. We moved the manufacturing really out of some of this area right here into the new facilities at Lone Rock. We just, in fact, met with Ross Helverson, our vice president, this morning. We just started the second shift down there for the Trans 10. We'll be probably in about another 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, but we'll be looking to start the third shift to keep up with the demand. In this area, as you know, I think you took some shots around here. The carpenters are finishing up this weekend on the majority of this building, and we're moving the furniture in this weekend. And so it's been exciting. And it was just a year ago right now that we moved into this building, and where we're at right now is where a lot of the manufacturing and mounts and that were made. So this has all been converted over to studio and office for the commercial division. And I would say for a square foot of offices, we must have added here probably 4,000 square feet, not counting the studio area. And that they should be winding that down this weekend. So it's been been exciting. We're going to work through the weekend with the new furniture in. And so
it's been a real
busy.
crash program. I can't believe the amount of carpeting, the square footage of carpeting went down yesterday and today.
Yeah.
Okay, that takes care of the studios. I just wanted you to elaborate, if you would, on the Trans 10. I think all the signs are really good.
Super for it, you bet. Salesmen are very, very happy. Our biggest thing right now is getting geared up and building for the demand. Didn't really anticipate the crunch as soon as that it happened. Production capabilities by March should be at 5,000 a month. That's what we're gearing for with a third shift, and we're going to expand on that right now. Right now the demand is about, for sold orders, around 3,000 a month of the new antenna, and that's we're projecting by March needing 5,000 per month. It's UPS shippable, and the salesmen are having very good response directly through distributors, the route that we're going, and trying to maintain product support and doing everything we can in the way of advertising in the trade magazines and listing the distributor names. And to all the new distributors that I haven't met personally, look forward to doing it at the show in March. Very happy to have you on board, and be patient with us. We're gearing up and making product as fast as we can, but we've got to do it with the quality in mind that we've always maintained or try to maintain. And we can't, there goes the pounding, we're going to hold off. But we're very happy about it. If I look a little tired, it's because 12 and 14-hour days, we're used to them, but boy, when you run a long stretch of them, it gets kind of rough. But we're excited, and the studio that you'll be moving into, and in fact, you're going to have your own world in here compared to what we've had in the past. So that's going to be exciting.
It's going to be very good.
We're scheduling a distributor meeting. Letters should be going out shortly, a day ahead of the trade show in March. The letter will be going out to all the distributors. You should be getting them probably by the time this is aired, hopefully, or right around that time, an invitation to attend a day ahead of the show, a distributor meeting of the new Trans 10. I hope you can hear it over the pounding, of the Trans 10 product line just prior to the show. And I think you're working with that, with the salesmen,
yes,
getting that out.
We're going to have a good meeting and a very informative meeting, and I think it's going to be good to meet the distributors out there. John, just one more. I think if we could just transpose the Trans 10 and the reception for it out at CES, and just generally what you think of the prospects for 1985 based on what you saw at the show. A lot of enthusiasm?
Sure, yeah. Totally, for all of the satellite industry, it's going to be a very good year. We were very fortunate to have a very good location at the CES show, and a lot of people that hadn't had any experience in the past with satellite earth stations stopped by big trade department stores and people like that were at the CES, stopped and talked. Very interested. You're going to see a lot of those folks, and Panasonic is getting involved, a lot of major names. And for our company, our workhorse, the stainless steel antenna, sales are steady and increasing there, and the Trans 10 filled a need of a UPS shippable antenna at a lower price. And the stainless steel is the Cadillac, and the Cadillac's not for everybody. But for the people who want an antenna that has a 10-year warranty with unmatched performance, the stainless steel 112 is, to my mind, one of the best antennas on the market. With the Trans 10, another thing that we've got going with that, I hope to have the test results for the Trans 10 by the March show, working at getting that set up. And also, we've got 3 patents pending on it, on the Trans 10, on the design, and which Ross Halverson is responsible for, so we're excited about that. And it's going to be a very good year. It's exciting. It's a different product than we ever had before. We're going to be introducing some new things to go along with it at the March show. Some benefits to the distributors that we have on board, and in the way of other product lines associated with the Trans 10. So we've got some goodies waiting for the distributors. Just hang tight. We'll get your product as fast as we can.
John, I appreciate your taking time out to come. John is typical, and I think the president ought to work 14 hours a day. But the rest of the people are just as hardworking and patient on what's going on. It's the most exciting industry, and this is one of the most exciting businesses in the industry. I think Qualtronics is really an exciting place to work, John.
It must be exciting because I just heard the general page. My wife is just paging me, so I better get the front office. So
We'll
thanks
let
a
you
lot,
go.
Joe.
You bet. Bye, John.
You bet.
Hello. Industry news leads off with Axe the Tax. Yes, the New York State Farm Bureau has adopted a resolution to petition the state legislature for legislation forbidding taxation of satellite dishes. The Chenango County Farm Bureau initiated the resolution after a county resident's property assessment was raised after he installed a satellite system. The resident fought the assessment all the way to the state Supreme Court, but his argument that satellite TV antennas should not be assessed as real property fell on deaf ears. Well, the County Farm Bureau unanimously adopted a resolution calling for the state legislature to prohibit assessing satellite antennas. The County Farm Bureau reportedly had one lone negative vote on the resolution that the town assessor who initiated assessment of dishes be the lone dissenter. Who is the assessor? He's also a Farm Bureau member. Also was reportedly the sole dissenter when the state vote was taken. Upstate New York State Senator James Donovan continued his endorsement of satellite TV in the classroom by allocating funds from the state's discretionary budget for satellite systems to be installed in 2 rural upstate school districts. You may remember that Senator Donovan has previously allotted state funds for local school districts to install systems, and he's been also exploring the possibility of pushing for a statewide satellite-fed education system. While the senator has been exploring the use of satellite TV in the classroom, his staff also has been examining the use of a much more expensive fiber optic system for the 700-plus school district system in that state. Restrictive satellite TV antenna zoning ordinances continues to be a topic of hot discussion and prime concern for dealers in the industry's Washington-based lobby organization, Society for Private and Commercial Earth Stations. SPACE reacted to a total ban on satellite dishes adopted at Harper's Ferry, Virginia, by calling it discriminatory and said it will fight that local law. The Town Fathers adopted the ordinance to preserve what they call the historical aesthetics of the community. The action by the local governing body drew national attention and was reported on CBS News. While the law bans all new installations, 3 residents, one of which was a local motel operator, got in under the wire and will be allowed to keep their satellite dishes in place. Cities and villages, mostly in the northern regions of the country, have adopted or are exploring the possibility of adopting local laws governing satellite dishes. SPACE has drawn up a model zoning ordinance which local dealers could present to their local governing bodies if they're considering restrictive local laws covering satellite dishes. And that's the news, but one aside. If your community is in the market for a zoning ordinance, a model one, be sure to bring them one and tell them that this is one that's been adopted around the nation. It'll help a lot to avoid some problems later on. We'd suggest it, and you may follow through on that. Thank you. Now let's go back to Larry Wyman with an interview with Hans Jenner.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada. We're here at the 1985 Winter Show of the CES, and with us this afternoon we're extremely pleased to have Mr. Hans Jenner. He's the president of Luxor of North America. And
Thank you.
Very pleased to have you with us.
Thank you.
We've asked Hans to stop by the booth this afternoon to talk to us about some of the exciting news that Luxor North America is going to be doing for the dealer organization. And we know that we have many viewers this afternoon that have met Hans, and they're looking forward to maybe some words from him here at the show. They're meeting him. So far, Hans, how's the show proceeding?
This show is a bit different than others, because we see at this time, for the first time, a real deep, serious interest from the established consumer electronics trade for satellite products. We see major chains, we see buyers from very reputable firms in the industry looking for specifically satellite products. And I see that as a sign that this industry is now moving ahead, maturing, and getting out to the regular retail for consumer goods.
We've got a nice crowd at this show, don't you think, Hans?
Yes, we have.
This 1985 show in Las Vegas is, we think, very successful, and we're finding a lot of the same interest, and we're extremely pleased of the activity. And tell us, if you will, Hans, a little bit about Luxor North America. We want our viewers to. We're extremely proud. I probably should say this right off the top of the show. We're extremely proud of our relationship with Luxor, and our viewers, of course, that watch our show week in and week out, know that we feel very strong about the Luxor product, and we feel very strong about our relationship with you folk. But I'd like you to share with our viewers, if you will, a little history, maybe like you did with some of us distributors yesterday, a little background about Luxor. I think they'd be extremely interested in knowing that.
Okay, Luxor started their activities in the U.S. as a branch office of our parent, and is from January 1 a incorporated body. We did incorporate on January 1. We are a wholly owned subsidiary now of the largest electronics manufacturer in the Scandinavian countries. And we have strengthened our organization. We have added on technical staff, we have added on sales staff, and we are preparing ourselves for what we see major growth in 1985, and spreading the satellite products into more areas than before. I want to stress, though, that 1984 was an extremely successful year for us. We now sit with the facts in hand, and we know that 1984 our sales were up by 300%. And I would like to take the opportunity at this time to thank you, all the dealers who have done such a successful job for us out there. Thank you very much, and we can assure you that we will come out with new exciting products in 1985, and we have an organization prepared to stand by the product this coming year.
Well, Hans, as we talk this afternoon, and we both look at 1985 as kind of an exciting year, and 84 is behind us now, and we have the figures in. What are you looking at from Luxor's standpoint, product-wise, in 1985? I know our viewers are anxious to hear that from you.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think you will see that block systems will take an ever-increasing portion of the market. And we did come out with a block receiver in the fall. We have now at this show introduced a full accessory line to go with this block system. And you will also find later on during the year there will be new, more exciting products coming out from Luxor. We are really looking into being able to present a full package from the microwave product to the receiver, to the little splitters. You should be able to get a Luxor program all the way from us during 1985. That's our target.
Well, that's excellent. And I know that some of the viewers here this afternoon now will have the opportunity of seeing via the video some of the products that Luxor is showing here at their 1985 Las Vegas show. We're going to be showing that to our viewers, and I know that they'll be picking up on it, and that's excellent news for us. From a distributor standpoint, have they been stopping by the booth, and are they excited about some of the product that your people have been showing them?
Yes, I would say that the enthusiasm at the distributor meeting yesterday was fantastic.
I agree with that.
And the floor traffic we have had has been overwhelming. So we are very pleased with the result of this show. And I think for the future you will find Luxor not only at the regular satellite shows. We will also be participating in all the CES shows.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
I can tell all of our viewers that we were extremely pleased yesterday to be one of the distributors at this show and at the meeting with Luxor, and with their full line of equipment now, we're extremely excited about it, and I know that when they see this on the show and they contact our various regional offices, they're going to find out that this full line of Luxor equipment is going to enhance the entire satellite industry, and we appreciate that very much. Thank you, Hans.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you.
We'd like to unveil our Caltronics Trans 10 antenna. It's all new and a born winner.
Quality, performance, and strength, and all at a highly competitive price. It's the all-new Trans 10 Mesh by Caltronics. Engineered for maximum durability and reflective surface, the Trans 10 is also extremely easy to look at. It has a baked acrylic thermoset black finish that gives it that low luster appeal. Aesthetically speaking, the Trans 10 is not just another beautiful face, it's got plenty of other qualities to back it up. The extra strength hub is parabolically formed to maximize signal strength. Like the keystone of a great building, the hub is engineered of 3/16" prime steel and measures a solid 14.5 inches in diameter. The ribs are made of superior strength tubular 16-gauge steel encased in polytrans vinyl, especially formulated for the satellite industry. The end result? Solid strength, at the same time minimizing the size of the ribbing. Now this avoids the bulky appearance of so many mesh antennas. The polytrans vinyl ribs of the Trans 10, in another innovative feature, have full half-inch unobstructed mesh retaining channels. The mesh panels slide smoothly into place, simply and surely, making for fast assembly time and snug positioning. Another bonus, better retention of the panels in high wind areas and maximum reflector signal with no gaps in the reflective area. It's a distinct advantage over other mesh designs. High gain means better performance. The Trans 10 has an outer rim of rigid extruded aluminum anchored securely to the ribs and center hub to form a solid framework for the panels. The mesh panels themselves are of expanded flattened aluminum with a 1.040 thickness and 0.045 strand width. The mesh in all exposed frame parts have a baked acrylic thermoset finish. All antenna hardware is plated for weather protection. The new Trans 10 antenna features a Nova polar mount with greasable self-aligning bearings. They reduce wear of the pivot points to an absolute minimum. The mount also has a 4-inch by 4-inch box tubing for the elevation beam. The Trans 10 mount also has an infinitely adjustable declination offset to optimize the trackability of the system regardless of geographic location. Compare this mount with other mounts that you see on the market, and you'll find that the difference will be very apparent. The Trans 10, with its 10-foot diameter, has a deep dish design for maximum gain, a focal length of 44 13/16 inches, and an FD ratio of 0.375. The Trans 10 is UPS shippable anywhere in this country with a weight of 155 pounds for easy handling. Without a doubt, the Trans 10 by Caltronics is destined to be the front runner in the industry, the ultimate mesh antenna design, because it has quality, performance, and eye appeal. Now we're going to be asking Dale Davenport to come back again, this time to discuss tracking of the antenna, a very important subject.
Today I'd like to go over the procedure I normally go through to track a system. There are certain angles on a mount which are very critical you have set up properly to begin with, it will get you much closer to a correct starting point. One of these angles is the angle of what we call the elevation beam. The setting up of this plane so that it is true north and south is very important also. Okay, when I set my north-south, the E-beam has to be pointing north and south. I take a compass, step back approximately 20 or 30 feet, and move around until I have the south end of my compass needle pointed directly at this pole. I then have an assistant turn the dish until this plane is as true north and south as possible. I then lock these two bolts down to hold it in place. Another angle that I mentioned that was critical is this angle here. When measuring off of the horizontal, when using the horizontal as a reference, this angle may be set to the latitude of your location. I measure off the horizontal and I set the angle to 90 minus the latitude. When measuring this angle, I am measuring off of the vertical. I am currently sitting at about 48 degrees. So I should lower this. I am at 43 degrees, 90 minus 43 is 47. So I will lower this angle to my 47. Okay, I now have it sitting at 47 degrees up from the vertical. At this point, we have adjusted our north and south plane to be correct. We have adjusted our elevation angle to be correct. And I will now adjust my azimuth adjustment. Now, in this area, I know from experience that SATCOM 3 or Galaxy 1 are in the southwest direction. The way my mount is situated, if I go 45 degrees to the right of south, I will be facing southwest. This system incorporates a Houston Satellite Tracker 4, which enables me to control every feature of the system from right here. I can move the east and west until I am pointing approximately southwest. Okay, at this time I should be able to turn my equipment on and have satellite. One then scans the channels to identify which satellite he has found. I should be on SATCOM 3, and now I'm on Galaxy 1. For beings I am very familiar with SATCOM 3, I am going to take it eastward to SAT 3, manually scanning until I find a channel and peek to that channel. Okay, at this point, one should have a remote tuning meter which gives a relative signal strength reading. You can see as I move east and west, the level fluctuates. At this point, I use the meter for tuning. While watching the meter, I will raise and lower the dish for a peak signal. Okay, in raising it, I find that I lose signal, so I must lower the dish for a peak signal. I have now fine-tuned the azimuth adjustment and the elevation adjustment on this satellite. SATCOM 1, I start out with SATCOM 3 or Galaxy, one of the lower satellites, the most western satellites. At this point, I have peaked all of the adjustments on this satellite. I will go eastward until I get as far up or as far eastward as I can and still have pictures. Okay, the pictures are beginning to get a few sparkles in them, which means that I am not tracking properly. I will continue eastward until I can just barely get pictures, but I am on an upper satellite. I am on one of my upper satellites. I do not know which, but at this point it does not matter. I have pictures. I find satellite by using pictures. At this point, I will use a tuning meter to get myself properly tuned into this satellite. At this point, I use only the azimuth adjustment. Once I have fine-tuned that adjustment, I will check my elevation. Now this is the important step. This is the one which will tell you which way to move the entire mount and dish to correct to get a true north and south reading. At this point, if I adjust my elevation upwards to get a stronger signal strength and therefore a better picture, I must loosen the yoke bolts and move the entire dish eastward, because I am not on true north and south. True north and south lies slightly eastward of where I am now. If I were to have to lower this elevation to get a better signal strength and therefore a better picture, I would have to turn the entire dish westward. I will now adjust my elevation and we'll see which way I am off. I am bringing the dish up, and at this point I see that I am gaining. So in moving the dish upward, I gained in signal strength. Now this tells me that I must turn the entire dish eastward. At this point, I scribe a small mark on the yoke and the pole. Where these satellites are out there are 22,000, roughly 300 miles. A small movement down here makes a big difference up there. So I would scribe a mark as a reference point and turn the system a 32nd to a 16th of an inch. Okay, I'm going to move the entire thing eastward because I had to move my elevation upward. At this point, I just return to SATCOM 3 and repeak and start the process all over again. Okay, on SATCOM 3, I want to tune the system using all of my adjustments. I will start using my east and west. I have pictures at this point, so I will go by the meter. I then fine-tune my elevation adjustment. Okay, at this point, I am peaked on SATCOM 3. Now I will again start going eastward to the easternmost satellite I can find and redo the process. I have now made it as far as SATCOM 4, and at this point I will adjust my elevation or my azimuth adjustment only. I do have pictures, so I will use the meter to adjust. Okay, I have now fine-tuned the azimuth adjustment. I will again return to my elevation and see if I am still off in my north and south or if I must correct for it. I am still finding that in raising the dish, I am gaining in picture. Therefore, I must still move the dish eastward. And return to SATCOM 3 and start the process over again. I repeat this process until I can go from SATCOM 3 to SATCOM 4 using only the azimuth adjustment, and no elevation adjustments are necessary to get a better picture. Once I have performed the sequence of peaking on SATCOM 3, then going to, say, SATCOM 4, moving my elevation to tell me which way I need to move for my north and south orientation. Once I have done that enough times that going from SATCOM 3 to SATCOM 4, the elevation adjustment causes me to lose in either way that I adjust it, I know that at that point I am tracking. Now I have peaked this on SATCOM 3 and I have good pictures. I will now run it to SATCOM 4 and we will make one final check to see that it is tracking properly. And at this point I do have clear pictures, which tells me that I am in fact tracking.
The following is a list of dealers who handle the Caltronics Nova SS line of satellite antennas. Satellite TV Systems, Amarillo, Texas. Unlimited Satellite, Madison, Wisconsin. Warner Satellite Incorporated, Elkhart, Indiana. Phillips Satellite Systems, Douglas, Wyoming. Synergy Enterprises, Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Johnson Enterprises, Jamestown, North Dakota. Sky Power, Downs, Kansas. Midwest Satavision Incorporated, East Moline, Illinois. B&M Satellites, Glenoma, Washington. Phillips Satellite TV, New Haven, Michigan. Movie Magic Satellite, Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. Go Satellite Incorporated, San Marcos, California. Home Satellite Systems, Memphis, Tennessee. Satellite Antenna Systems Incorporated, Houston, Texas. Nichols Distributing Company, Bay City, Michigan. TVRO Satellite, Alpena, Michigan. Mid-Central Electronics, Swanville, Minnesota. Tri-County Satellite, Oxnard, California. ESI, Parkersburg, West Virginia. Calltronics would like to thank the distributors who carry the new Trans 10. Flame Satellite Products, Evansville, Indiana. Energy Options Incorporated, Cincinnati, Ohio. Eclipse Electronics Incorporated, Wayland, Michigan. Best Reception Systems, Rockwood, Tennessee. IVS Incorporated, Bristol, Tennessee. National Microdynamics Incorporated, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Joe Mill Electronics, Covington, Louisiana. Satellite Specialist, Bogalusa, Louisiana. Intercontinental Satellite Distribution Centers, Midvale, Utah. Gresham, Oregon. Anaheim, California. Satellite Antenna Systems Incorporated, Houston, Texas. STS, Sandy Springs, South Carolina. STS, Gainesville, Florida. Warren Radio Company, Davenport, Iowa. Allstate Supply Company, Topeka, Kansas. Precision Satellite Systems, Clearwater, Florida. Satellite Earth Stations, Mamou, Louisiana. Satellite Earth Stations, Austin, Texas. Satellite Earth Stations, Macon, Georgia.
Well, that's our show for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Be with us next week at the same time for Video Newsletter by Caltronics. Remember, 2 o'clock Eastern, and remember, it's SATCOM 4 and Transponder 16 each week at the same time.
Thank you.